I asked an Amazon technical program manager to share the exact steps that she took to apply, network, and interview for her job at Amazon. The tips that she shared are hard to find, especially on LinkedIn, where everybody is just fed up of information that doesn't even work by people that have no idea what it's like to do it. Without any further ado, let's go. I want to jump next into, just really a deep dive on the world of applying for jobs. Be it within or outside of LinkedIn, any strategies around, cold approaching people, be it via cold DMs on LinkedIn or cold emails. It's just a time in the US market, at least probably the world market, if we're being honest, where it's just a really bad time, it sounds like, and people out there are just absolutely struggling to even get interviews, let alone, getting jobs. So, what are some strategies or things that you did that worked for you? And probably we can start with, within LinkedIn first and then kind of branch out from there.
I agree. The market is really tough right now because I get so many DMs on LinkedIn right now. Like people, even my juniors, like they are trying to find a job and the market is really difficult for them. But I just want to say this: you just have to get that one job. Just there, like
Absolutely.
one job. You just have one job. That years people. So get things. Just one. What I started doing, I was not getting a lot of interviews in the initial. It's like any person pick up. I was my approach was very one directional. It was very narrow. I was just applying through LinkedIn and even applying to applying to job posting that has been there for say 10 days. I feel it's not how you go about it. There are multiple in this current market, a job posting that has been out there for more than 3 days. There is no point in applying to a position like that because they already have like thousands of applications and they will not look at your application from 1,000 people that have already applied. So it's always, in my experience, I feel it's always first come first serve. So be proactive, apply early. As soon as you see the position, maybe set up subscribe to the companies that you want to get a job at. So whenever there's a new job posting, you get an email immediately and you can go ahead and apply. So and even you can set up these email reminders on LinkedIn that will when there's a new opening, it will send you an email and you can proactively apply. There's so many other emailing lists as well that you can subscribe to that send you the position that has been opened, for example, by Exponent.
And you think like time is really of the
Time is very crucial. Yes, I am saying time is very crucial for the application. Then LinkedIn is not the only platform through which you can apply. There is Indeed, and then there is just plain Google where you can just go and apply. There's Glassdoor, there's Smart Recruiter. There's so many other platforms where you can go and apply. And it's not just about applications. There's the other thing is you can network, and I mean everybody will vouch for the method that they were able to find a job through.
Absolutely.
But I feel when you're in this situation, this current market where people are struggling to get an interview, I feel try everything is the way to go about it. Do that. Don't be shy. Just go ahead and send that cold emails. All right, find people and send that cold email. Even on LinkedIn, you can get that premium subscription and send those in
Personalized and
personalized emails to these people, and just network a lot. Because for Amazon as well, I had applied to the position, the same position, without a referral, and I did not get a call back. But as soon as I got that referral in place, that's how I got the interview. So getting that referral can be very important, and at some places it cannot be important as well. Maybe when you're waiting for that referral, the position is already closed. So there's no point waiting for a referral when you can just apply. So you have to try multiple different things.
On that note, do you have any particular tips for people, especially around the networking aspect? Because personally, I've heard a few different approaches. So some people swear by the reach out to somebody without asking for something first off.
Yeah.
There's a different type of person, or a school of thought essentially that says just be honest. Like people likely know why you're reaching out, and it's okay to just be like, hey, I'm really struggling. I would love it if you could refer me. So do you have a thought on which might be better for the general person, I suppose, just any person?
Yeah. Okay, so speaking from my experience and also the kind of messages that I like is when people are being straightforward. I mean, I know why you're reaching out to me, right? Just just ask for it, and I mean, when you ask for it, the other person is bound to give you something in return, right? If like closed mouths don't get fed, right?
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So it's I feel whenever I was straightforward in my conversation, because with chat GPT and everything, people can write hundred of emails and everyone's inbox is full. Nobody is reading those big texts where you're trying to build a network just by not asking for it, but then later on trying slightly trying to get that point there, right? Just in
Yeah.
a coffee chat or something. I feel being straightforward and upfront about, okay, hi, whatever you're looking for, you be polite about it. This is, and I personally, now that I get so many emails and messages right now, I feel when people are directly send me what they're looking for, it's easier for me to, okay, you want this, okay, I will reply and I will respond to that. So that is a personal thing. I mean,
Absolutely. No, yeah. And I obviously, no two people react to the same message in the same way. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to get a sense on, your particular, like your thoughts specifically around this. So, but yeah, to recapitulate, it sounds like you're saying that authenticity really is what might, be the difference between kind of a cookie cutter, same copy paste template type
yeah,
message that you might send to somebody versus more heartfelt, a more authentic, hey, I really have these skills, this is what I've done, it would mean the world if you could please maybe share, refer me, or point me to the right person, or point me to the right position that might be suited more for my interests. So I think that's a really helpful tip. With that, I kind of quickly want to jump through the the loop interview experience that you had at Amazon, because again, it's something that's almost infamous at this point. Like, a lot of people know it exists, and there seems to be a decent amount of misconceptions around what really goes on with it. I've heard some pretty scary anecdotes about it that may or may not be from actually people at Amazon. It sounds like there's just stories going around at this point. So do you want to give us a quick run through on what that main 5-hour continuous loop experience was like for you? And I think this applies specifically for the tech program manager positions,
Yes.
if I'm not wrong.
I mean, the loop interview is like a marathon, and you have to. So for program manager at Amazon, they're very much focused on the leadership principle, and there is like multiple resources out there when you want to prepare for a loop. But there are like multiple YouTube videos. There's so many articles, books, everything you can find for the loop interview. We'll just briefly tell you what it's like. So for Amazon has these 16 leadership principles, and in these loop interviews, the people are already working with the team, and they're trying to find if you are a fit for Amazon, if you have those leadership principles embodied in you, and if you have worked in a similar direction. So every interviewer is given 3 or 4 leadership principles that they ask a question on. For example, customer obsession, and it'll be a question asked in the past, like what was your experience with doing something like this for your customer.
Like behavioral type.
Yes, it is definitely behavioral. And they try to drill you down on the experience that you're sharing. It's a very data set. They are looking for something in a very structured format, the star format, because that's what Amazon follows. So a person needs to answer everything in a very structured manner and using a lot of insights and KPIs and matrix, because
And for the listeners,
this centric company.
yeah. And for the listeners, STAR is situation, task, awareness.
Action.
Sorry about action and result. Okay, there you go. Can you say that one more time without me
Yes,
pushing?
it is. STAR is situation, task, action, and result. So basically, I feel that's how you prepare for other interviews as well, because it gives a lot of structure to your answer. And personally, I like to add the L as well at the end, which is the learning. So that's a personal thing I do, because it makes the answer well rounded for me, because I am in the very early phases of my career. So that learning is something that puts me apart from other people. So
I think that's all. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
that's my personal thing that I'm doing. Settling, you can also use it, whoever wants to. It's cool. Yeah. So
Got it.
yeah. And then 5 hours. Every interviewer has a set of leadership principles they're gonna ask you questions on, and basically you cannot repeat any stories between all these interviews. So you need to have around 32 unique stories that you should be prepared with, and you should know everything about the story, like about
Got it.
whatever you're saying. Who were your stakeholders? Who were you working with? What were some of the issues that you faced in the project? If you say, for example, if you say you improved the tax compliances by 15%, this is something I did at PwC. So you should know how you did that. How did this 15% came into picture? What went behind it? It's not just the number, but everything in getting to that number. You should have your bases cleared for these interviews.
Wow.
So yeah, and
To prepare for that. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah, and then you referenced some resources. You mentioned that there's a lot out there. Is there any that you remember that you personally benefited from around that, or like maybe a YouTube channel or somebody's blog or something that just comes to mind, if at all, that was especially helpful for you?
two things that on top of my head is videos by Jeff Su. He is a program manager. He's a product marketing manager at Google, and he creates content. I feel his videos were amazing on star format and structuring your answers, how you go about questions, and it really benefited me. And the second thing that we went through was the course. There is this cracking the Amazon PM interview by Exponent, and it's I subscribed to that and paid a little bit for that. It's not expensive. They have a series of interviews for every leadership principle from a real Amazonian, so that helped me a lot. Then a lot of resources was shared by my recruiter at Amazon. Those were
Great.
was that right?
I had no idea that was a thing. That's so nice.
That's really cool. And then coming back to the networking thing, I did reach out to a lot of people who were currently working as a program manager at Amazon, and I was grateful that everybody, like a lot of people, like 3 or 4 people took my mock interview, and they guided me. Yeah, they guided me on how to structure my answers and what to expect in an interview. I hope you enjoyed that. I have a bunch of clips coming up, specially focused on how to get hired from my prior episodes as well as new episodes. So please subscribe.